get it. It's showtime. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Turn it on. Oh, look at that. Oh, for those of you looking vertical, see the vertical screen right here? For those of you horizontal, it goes all the way out here. Yeah, the vertical, no. Horizontal, yeah, it's way out here. Listen, it is the World Show. At Gen X Talks, that means something really simple. What that means is, at Gen X Talks, we're just a Generation X. We're a bunch of extras. We're the Legion of X. So we're just a bunch of people, just a bunch of jabronis. I'm a dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert, and we apply common sense towards what we're seeing out there in the world. All sorts of different things. We talk about anything. It really doesn't matter. This is kind of a Heinz 57, if you will, of podcasting, of live streaming, of what we're trying to do here. For those of you who do not know the reference of what a Heinz 57 is, well, you're too young to be part of the program. You should just leave, go Google it, watch a video, then you can come back. Once you understand that reference, you can come back. Because there's a lot of those references that are old school. If you don't know what they are, you got to leave, you got to learn what they are, then you can come back. But when you come back, you have to sit at the little kid table. And the little kid table is the card table in the corner of the dinner that's half in the hallway with the mismatched chairs. That's where the little kids used to sit. Again, if you don't know that reference, perhaps you're in the wrong spot. Okay. Well, I am affectionately called the General, the Legion of X, as we're a bunch of extras, and the Bottom of the Glass Nation is on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. This is the World Show. And when I say that we're applying common sense, let me be clear what that means. All right? Let me give you an example. We apply common sense to whatever the world is telling us, whatever the news is telling us, and we look at it and see if this makes sense to us. O.J. Simpson was found not guilty. Okay. Everybody in my generation went, whatever, dude, you killed your wife. You killed your wife. O.J. killed, we know. Because we just look at things with common sense. We have a gut reaction stuff that's usually pretty right. That's the way we look at things today. I know the news and the left, they come at you with charts and graphs and focus groups and professors and studies. Okay, whatever, man. My generation just looks at what's going on and goes, huh, and we can kind of tell what the bullshit is. That's just how we were raised. We've been on this. I'm on my 57th lap around the sun. I've completed 56. I've paid attention to a few things. You learn a few things. You guys coming up at 22 years old, you think you know it all? Yeah, probably not. Just because you haven't been around long enough to see everything. You know a lot for 22. You don't know a lot for 56. I don't know a lot for 76. Just kind of how it goes. Nothing personal. Don't get your feelings hurt because I really don't care about your feelings. All right. So there's a few things we want to talk about. Number one is we did make a switch. Some of the channels are on vertical. If you want a horizontal channel, one of the Facebook pages is horizontal, personal pages, and Rumble. If you go to Gen X Talks on Rumble, you can see things in the regular horizontal format. You should be happy there. Don't need you to whine and complain. I don't like what's going on around. Yeah, I'm sorry. Adapt or die. That's the way it is. All right. So that was one thing. The other one is we don't have any moderators today. Everybody is out on assignment. Sammy. Oh, I'm sorry. We have one moderator. We have Mama X. We have my beautiful bride, Gen X Mom, who is struggling to keep up on YouTube because she has a lot of responsibilities there. But for the most part, our regular moderators have regular jobs. Trippy Pineapple is one of our best go-to guys, and he is out in the field. He's one of those guys you hate. Yeah, you hate him. He's a building inspector in Southern California. So he's one of those guys you hate to have to deal with because they're such assholes about shit. Trippy Pineapple, we love him to death here, but we hate him outside of Gen X Talk. No. No friends. If he's got his Gen X Talks hat on, we love and embrace him. If he's got his badge and his little lanyard on that he's a building inspector, fuck off. We don't like Trippy. Make sure you know which Trippy Pineapple you're talking to. Okay, carrying on with that. Facebook is empty. Yeah. You guys, there's baseball teams in the stadium. There's
the
fans
kids
in the stands. What's that?
They're the latchkey kids.
They're the latchkey kids. The Facebook, you are the latchkey kids. There's two baseball teams in the stadium. There's fans in the stands. There's dudes selling popcorn, but there's no umpires. There's no umpires today. There's no referee in the stadium. So I'm not sure how the game's going to go. The dugouts are going to clear. The fans are going to. Well, that's what happens when you do this. So Debbie Anderson. Oh, look at that on Facebook or on YouTube. This show sucks. Well, Debbie, guess what? You don't have to be here. So let's put her in a 24-hour timeout. And just like that, Debbie Anderson's gone. Now, what that means for Debbie Anderson, because she's such a wonderful person. You see, in the real world, you guys call her Karen. But in here, she's just an asshole. Debbie Anderson, you're welcome to live. That was Mom X. I already got rid of her. She just, this show sucks. Well, you know what? Then don't be here. Don't comment. Just leave. You don't got to tell anybody you're leaving. You don't have to announce your departure. This isn't an airport. You can just fucking go. But the best part is that I just banned her for 24 hours. Now, what does that mean? That means she can still hear me. You're welcome. She can still see this. You're welcome again. But she can't type anything. If she types stuff, it'll come up on her screen, but it won't come up on ours. No one will know she's even gone. Kind of like real life. See, Debbie's the type of girl that when she leaves a party, nobody even notices she's gone. Yeah, it's that. So you guys can call her Karen in the outside. Again, Trippy Pineapple here, Trippy Pineapple there. Debbie Anderson here, Debbie Anderson there. Here, she's just banned, and out there, she's Karen. Deal with that. All right, let's move on. What else do we got? There's some new stuff we want to talk about. I'm going to try the drag and drop portion of the program, but I've never done this on vertical and horizontal. So let's see how this goes. Let's test it with something simple. That way, if I fuck it up, it's not too bad. All right, let's move that. The drag and drop section of the program begins with dragging and dropping. Horizontal's done. Let me do the vertical one for you guys there. Okay, so that's the podcast. It dropped. That's my wife and I. The podcast, if you don't know what that is, there's an audio version and a video version. We record it, we play it, we simulcast it on KGXT Radio live because they can't ban us there. Then we edit out all the cussing and all the stuff you're not allowed to do. But basically, my wife kicks the shit out of me for about an hour. So she just unloads. She stores up for a week and unloads on me. So if you guys want to go to the podcast, you're going to have to look it up on genxtalks.com because we don't have moderators everywhere. You know, Josh Maddox he's a pharmacist. He's got his regular 9 to 5. He's on Rumble, but he can't be there today. Trippy Pineapple's gone. Sammy Joe's on assignment. So if you just go to genxtalks.com and you click, just click on there's a picture. All of the pictures have links to where they're going. You can be part of that. Don't go listen to it now. We're doing this right now. Do that later. But that's a whole lot of fun. We went a little bit long on that one, but there was an actual live recording of me getting pissed at the kid during the show when he interfered. He came in with the red light on in the studio. He comes in, starts fucking around with my computer screen. I lost my shit. And I kicked him the fuck out, and then I vented to my wife. Just so you guys know, that was part of it. There's a lot of stuff that went on with that show. It was a good show. All right, let me do some of the housekeeping stuff and get that out of the way. I don't know if I aligned this or not. Yeah, that one came out pretty good. For those of you who don't, now this is an election year, right? And in the United States of America, this is an election year. And what that means in a lot of respects is the platforms, Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Rumble, maybe not so much Rumble, they squash conservative channels. They squash channels that produce common sense thinking. We have no way of reaching you. People will email us all the time going, I didn't even know your show was on. I missed it. I didn't get notified. I clicked the bell, the like, the subscribe, I follow. I did, but they didn't tell me. No, they won't. They're not going to tell you. There's going to be quite this from now till November. There's going to be so many times people say, we didn't know, we didn't know, we didn't know. So what we did, we already had Patreon. So if you join Patreon, it's $1. It's $1. I'm sorry, it's $1. It's a goddamn buck. Go scrape the couch cushions and get $1. But we sent an email. Yeah, 30 minutes before the show, we just go, hey, we're going on the World Show. It's everywhere. Just a reminder, it's in 30 minutes. But people actually love that we can email you. Where else can we email you? Facebook? Nope. YouTube? Nuh-uh. There's no way to actually contact you guys, but on Rumble, on Patreon, we can. Not only do you get 3 years of go scroll back through 3 years of secret footage, stuff that we don't show the public. That's just for members. Over 3 years of members-only stuff, but you get an email. And that's really important because then we can reach you directly. So don't take that too lightly. That's the thing, man. It's a really big thing. All right, so let me jump into some stuff here. I got a couple. We'll trade off. We'll go quick and easy, and then we'll go some heavy stuff. Let me start with something that's really pissing me off. This is bugging the fucking shit out of me right now. And my wife brought this to my attention the other day, so I did a little homework on it, and I tried to figure something out. I don't know that I was able to. Let me do the drag and drop section of the program right now. Let me drag. I gotta do the vertical one first. Okay. So she sent me this, and it's a map of the United States, Chinese-owned farmland in America. Now, that's been something that's been going on for years. It makes the news every now and then, and it's the Chinese are buying up farmland, and the first angle on that was, well, why are they buying farmland? What are they doing? And there's lots of reasons that that countries buy farmland here and grow things. Like there's a Saudi Arabian farm in Arizona that the type of food they're growing requires like 16 times the amount of water that normal crops take. So they bought land in Arizona, they grow it there, tons of acreage, and they ship it back home because they're not allowed to grow it there because it uses too much water. So I'm not happy about that, because there's been news reports of farmers in Arizona that their wells are running dry. They didn't dig 2,000 feet down to the lowest water table. Their stuff is 300 and 400 feet deep, and they're losing water. They're out of water. Arizona's trying to fix some of that, but for right now, everybody's playing by the rules. That's one reason you would have, a foreign country would have farmland, for their own purposes, because they can't grow it there, so they grow it here. Fuck us. They don't give a shit about us. They want their shit there. All right, I got you. You're putting your country first. I respect that. Then when we put our country first, you're fucked too. Now you got to have to respect it when it works both ways. So the farmland here is around military bases. And I'm sure there's other farmland. I'm sure they just didn't buy farmland there. But I was looking at and it doesn't show all of the bases, but there's quite a few on here. Pendleton, there's Fort Irwin, there's 29 Palms. They show quite a bit on there. And I was trying to figure out what their purpose near a military base was. And I came up with two thoughts. This is just a dumb mechanic thinking out loud. And maybe if you guys know what they're doing there, some of you probably live near these bases, and some of you live near these farms. If you know something going on, tell me, because I'm not there. I can only look out my front door and see what's going on around me. You guys are right there. Believe me, I'm going to listen to what you have to say way, way, way before I listen to CNN or MSNBC. If you guys have, because you're there, say something, man. I'll tell everybody else. That's how this works. Okay, so let's go back. Two things that I was thinking on there when I stared at this screen. Drinking my hooch. Had a little Jack Daniels, had a little hooch, trying to sort some stuff out, because that is the sweet nectar of the gods. It helps me think. It really does. Could you use it for spying? That was my first thought. Now I know there's satellites to go overhead, and they cover everything, and God knows we've seen their fucking pretend weather balloons, but there's so many ways that they could spy from above, pick up radio chatter, and everything's encrypted anyway with the military. So I didn't understand how, but maybe it's true. Could that be for espionage? Could that be for sneaking up and looking in with binoculars? Can you see something? Can you hear something? Yeah, Gen X Mom.
Jan Mott says, isn't this a conspiracy theory that China has military installations in the U.S.?
Well, they did. They actually had they found a couple Chinese police stations. They had built police stations in New York and were operating them as police. And when they actually started to try to go out and enforce things, even New Yorkers went, fuck you. And they shut that shit down. I don't care if you're liberal or you're conservative. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican. That crossed the line with all Americans, and they shut those motherfucking things down and said, okay, you're not doing this. Well, according to the laws of the land, fuck you, you're out of here. And that was it. Now, I have not seen any evidence, and I have asked some of the people that I know in the military. I know some people that are my age, 56 years old. They've risen through the ranks in the Air Force, in the Army. They know some stuff, and I have not gotten anything where I can come to you guys and go, there's military installations buried underneath, these farmlands are just, 20 stories deep of Chinese. No, they're not. No, they're not. I have nobody who lives out there, nobody who's been out there that I've seen, none of the military people that I know who poke around with this have said, well, the Chinese had, 300 acres, but before they started growing corn, they dug up and they built a 20-story building underneath the farm, which we missed. Everybody kind of missed that construction, that 5-year construction project, and then they built the farm. No. I don't think any of that has happened. I think it's all just a bunch of bullshit. When someone says they have that, then I think they're full of shit. Let me read something here. Dropham, who's been around a long time on the program, Hill Air Force Base is really close, and I know they have been flying A-110s a lot more often. And a few years ago, there was an unauthorized drone that flew over and landed on the base and went into lockdown. So, see what Dropham said about Hill Air Force Base is a little bit of espionage, a little bit of spying. Now, is that what the farm's for? It's kind of, if the farm's really close, they can do a lot of spying, but wouldn't we notice it? And don't we have a way to block some of that? I mean, they've already got satellites overhead. So do we that take pictures. They've got satellites and ways to listen in. That's why everything's encrypted. So I wasn't real sure about that. But that was my first thought. When you look at this picture, that was my first thought, was some sort of spy, some sort of spy measures, right? I looked at it a little further. I drank a little more. I was trying to get the answers at the bottom of the glass. The truth was in there somewhere, and I kept drinking till I found it. Well, till I tried to find it. Anyway, so all of a sudden, something triggered in my brain when I was looking at these, and I thought, I'm going to go to the Weather Channel. I'm going to look up some stuff on the Weather Channel. I'm going to try to find out something on the Weather Channel that might relate to these farms. Can anybody guess why I went to the Weather Channel? I'm going to wait. I'll look in the comments. I can see the YouTube comments. Anybody? You got any idea why, after studying this map, I would go to the Weather Channel? Really? Nobody.
It's slow.
Not one fucking guess. I'll tell you why. I was wondering if there was a way to look at this. No, not weather control stations, not radar.
Weather control station?
Not cloud seeding. This is a dumb idea.
Radar?
I just read that.
Oh.
Are you listening to what I'm saying? I just read both those comments, and then you read them back to me. Woman, if you're going to be my secretary.
Right. Wind direction?
Wind direction. Yes, Edward Levake. Wind direction. And I was wondering how many of these farms were upwind of the bases they were around. Now, it's just me, dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert, not trying to start any bunch of shit here, just thinking out loud. But if they were to be farms with big spraying equipment, big sprinklers, and they're upwind of a big military base, if they're upwind of 30 big military bases and they wanted to attack and they were all upwind, what if they sprayed a poison, a gas, a nerve agent, I don't know, something that would kill everybody or make everybody sick, and the wind just floated it right through the base? Yes, Gen X Mom.
We have a random person I need you to...
Random person, go ahead.
Randoodle says, you're just reading and aggregating other people's work and ideas while claiming to be knowledgeable in something, in fact, you know nothing about. In reality, you're just scared and fearful as you age.
Is this guy on
YouTube?
Okay, who is this guy?
Randoodle.
Grandoodle. Randoodle. Okay, yes. Let's go find Randoodle because he's interrupting the fucking program. He sounds smart.
You said this was your opinion. You weren't claiming to be knowledgeable about anything. You were just saying, this is what you think.
I can't find Rand. How far back was he? Oh, there he is. Randoodle. He says, you're just reading. First of all, I'm not reading anything, dumbass. And aggregating other people's work. No. This is not. My wife sent me this picture, and I thought maybe they're spying, and I couldn't figure out a way that they'd be spying. And then I thought to myself, my own brain came up with the idea, I wonder if they're upwind and they could be like plotting some chemical thing. I gotta hand it to Randoodle, because most people blow me off and go, no, yes, that's so fucking stupid. That's a conspiracy to upwind. They've bought farmland so they could poison our base. What the fuck, man? That's terrible. Who would do that? Come on, you're really reaching. You're grasping at straws. Well, maybe. It's just a thought that popped into my head. The Weather Channel didn't help me, by the way. Maybe I don't know how to look stuff up correctly, but I was wondering if that could be the case. And Randoodle, you're claiming to be, you're knowledgeable. Okay, hey, stupid fucking dumbass doodle. Randoodle, how many times have I said, I'm just a dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert? How many times have I said that today? And that same person's claiming to be knowledgeable. I'm telling you, I have no fucking clue. I'm guessing. I told you, I'm making stuff up in my head. I don't know if it's true. I'm just expounding on some thoughts that came into my head. Who on earth would pretend to be knowledgeable and then call themselves the dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert? How many times have I said, I have no idea if this is right? Just stuff that popped in my head. Randoodle. God, he's one of those he's one of those dudes. All right, is something, okay, claiming to be knowledgeable in something you in fact know nothing about. Well, no shit, dumbass. I don't know anything about it. Why do you think I said I don't know why they bought the farmland? I thought of two reasons, maybe spying and being upwind. Then I went to the Weather Channel and I tried to look stuff up for air currents, but I couldn't find anything. Maybe I didn't look far enough. I'm telling you guys out loud, I don't know what I'm talking about. Thoughts come in my head. I'm trying to figure shit out, man. That's why I'm here. I'm just applying some common sense to what I'm seeing and seeing if I can come up with some answers in my head. God, Randoodle has got to be the dumbest smart guy on this channel ever. In reality, you're just scared and fearful as you age. Yeah, I'm really not. I would tell you if I was afraid. There's certain things I'm afraid of, and I freely admit I'm afraid of alligators. I am afraid of alligators. I don't know what I watch too many alligator videos. I know that's one of them. My wife gets mad. I'm also afraid of plane crashes really bad. Well, I will freely admit I'm scared as you get older. No, I'm not. Now, see, the reason Randoodle knows that it's a real thing for people to
He just responded, "You're so triggered and fragile. My work is done here."
Yeah. So it's the reason.
Oh, here he goes. He's running.
Yeah, the reason Randoodle knows that fear comes with age is self-experience. He gets some of that. There's some that's happened to him, maybe even at a young age. And that's the thing. The beautiful part about that is every time this happens all the time on these programs is that you say something and then someone comes up like Randoodle. Don't anybody delete him. Don't delete his stuff. You got to leave it up there forever for everybody to see what a fucking dipshit this guy is. But when you start proving them wrong, this happens every time. He's not unique. He's not the first person. He's just he's part of a herd. He's just part of a herd of minions that have a few catchphrases, and let me get to the last catchphrase, that say things. So when you counter them and you're like, well, that's wrong, what you said here is wrong, and you're obviously stupid because we've explained things, you're obviously ignorant, because as soon as you go down that road and they have nowhere to go, and now you've proven how stupid they look publicly, they all say the same thing. Every one of them goes, well, look how triggered you are. I guess my work here is done. Like that's what you set out to do. Like that was your goal from the beginning. Well, yes, it was. I was just trying to get under your skin. Ha, ha, and I guess I didn't know. The reason you run to that term, okay, boomer, or guess who's triggered now? Yeah. It's because you have nowhere to go. That was the end of the discussion. You got frazzled. You got put back in your place. We put you back in your herd, and your little herd can move on, and each of you can come out of your herd and try to pick. That's what happens.
He needs to go sit at the little kids' table.
You need to go sit at the little. He has to go learn some stuff first. Then he can come back and sit. No one wants him around doing this shit. And I'm sure this isn't the first channel he's done this to. I'm sure it's not the first place he's tried this. But I guarantee every time someone has shot him down, and this probably happens to this fucking guy in person, in real life. He always does the same thing. You pull the plug, you pull the ripcord, the parachute comes out. Well, you're triggered. I guess my work here is done. It's the same line. How many times have you used it? Hundreds? It's absolute, undeniable proof of how fucking idiotic you are. Low level IQ. Got it? Little traveling in a herd. Memorized your catchphrases, did you? Did you memorize your little catchphrases for your drive-by shootings? Because that's all this is. You're just a drive-by shooter. You bang, 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 and off you go. You don't have any substance.
All right.
You wouldn't last 10 minutes in a real debate.
Let's go back.
All right.
So we were talking about Chinese-owned farmland in America.
Well, and so the thing I was trying to say about that was that I'm not sure about the wind thing, but if they were going to do poison and they were upwind, wouldn't that be like an unstoppable thing? Wouldn't that be something we'd have a real hard time? Does everybody have gas masks on every base? Can they seal up every area of their hospitals that are closed and sealed to the out. They have their own ventilation. I don't know. I'm asking. But I did look at a couple things, like where the farmland is around Pendleton. That much I know because I'm from this area. And I know the offshore breeze blows the wrong way for my theory on Pendleton. I don't remember a lot of breezes. There are some that come inland and go at Pendleton this way, but most of them is offshore. The breezes always seem to be coming in. So my theory isn't correct on at least Camp Pendleton, but I don't know about the rest of them. And maybe it would be enough to just lob, they would just lob some in there. Maybe they got some trucks buried and they can just open them up and lob the chemicals over the fence. Yeah.
Well, Motorhead Productions is asking, why are the Chinese allowed to buy the U.S. land?
Well, the same reason that the Saudis can buy farmland. It's if it's open for sale, if it's not government land. In California, we call it BLM, Bureau of Land Management. If it's not federally owned land like forestry or something, if it's privately owned, anybody can sell it to anybody. I mean, if I want to sell my house to the Chinese government, you can't stop me. This is America. If I want to sell it to the Chinese government, I'll fucking sell it to the Chinese government. However, I have a moral compass, so I would not do that. If they offered me $10 million for my house, I'm going to go fuck themselves. I mean, that's just me. That's old school. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. There's something wrong there, but it's not illegal. Now, there's a lot of things going on where I wish that we could, I did not like the Japanese internment camps of World War II. That was horrible and wrong. But if a war starts with China and our country decides that we want to repossess, if we want to take over Chinese farmland, unless we're displacing a lot of families, I'm going to be okay with us seizing the land near our bases so they can't fuck with us. Technically, I'm wrong. Technically, that's illegal. Technically, that's unconstitutional. Technically, people will say, you're doing the same thing they did in World War II with the Japanese. Yeah, no, really. I'm just trying to secure the land so you can't fuck with us. I'm not wanting anything to do with people. No people. Just securing the land and putting the Chinese, put them on a plane, go back home. That's what I'm saying. If they're not United States citizens. I don't know that I'm right on that. I have no idea what's going on, but you have to admit that it's not a coincidence that they bought all this land right near these bases. What is that, just magically the best farmland ever? No. There's some places that these military bases are out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and they bought land next to them anyway. There's got to be a reason. But on the other hand, you have to think that there's you got to think that there's military people that are hep to this jive. You got to think that somebody's, eating a ham sandwich and with their feet up on their desk and with their mouths going, holy shit, look what the fucking Chinese are doing. And then they're doing something about it, or at least investigating it. There's no fucking way that our military, that the entire military is so fucking consumed with weird shit, with the woke movement, with Me Too, with all this other shit, that someone's not paying attention. Maybe they know something I don't know. Well, I'm sure they know something I don't know, but maybe they're like, nah, don't worry about it. It's not a concern. Okay. I'm just saying, my wife sent me this and I thought of spying and it didn't make sense. I thought of, wind currents for like a poison. That kind of made sense. But really the bottom line is, and this is my third thing that I was going to about poison or something you could, make people sick or kill people. You could lob that shit over. You might have a hard time flying a plane and dropping it on there because we'd fucking shoot you down. But if you had a bunch of trucks and a bunch of chemicals for gardening on the 300 or 400 acres next to the base, and you mixed in some weird fucking poisons, we wouldn't be able to tell. There's 50 trucks out there. How would I know if 8 of them had poison in them? And time comes, they throw the shit either downwind, they let it go downwind, or they throw it over, they launch it over the fence with a catapult. I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know why that's happening, but it bothered the shit out of me. So anyway, there's something. If you guys, listen, here's the bottom line. If you guys know something or you're near something and you take pictures and you see something, send it to me. GenXDad@GenXTalks.com. I read all my own emails. I answer you guys. So GenXDad@GenXTalks.com. If there's something you want, someone just came by and said, send me the map of Florida. And I'm telling you right now, send me the email. I'll send you the stuff. I have more than just this picture. I'll send you what I've got, which is not much, but I mean, we can communicate. If you know something or you see something, let me know. We'll talk about it on a world show. That's kind of the point here, right? So that's just something I'm just letting you guys know, something to talk about in there. So let me turn that off. Let's go. Do you have anything between the sheets you want to say?
Just somebody had a question.
Okay.
Sandra Sparks on YouTube says, what do you think about Soros' plan to buy all radio stations in California to Texas? Do you have any information on that?
What was that? No, that was called Odyssey or Audacy. A-U-D. Am I getting that right? A-U-D-A-U-C-Y. I just caught a glimpse of that the other day. George Soros, not only is he a billionaire, and so he's smart financially, but he's wicked smart when it came to politics. About 12 years ago, he quit buying presidents, and he started buying all of the under officials. He would promote and support and donate money and make sure that lieutenant governors won, that in the judicial system, certain people were put in place. He did everything and that so attorney generals who were running would win. And now he owns quite a bit. He influences quite a bit of our judicial system. Why do you think in California, when people rob and steal, they don't prosecute him anymore? They catch and release. It's because all of his people are in key places in every county. And we didn't see it coming. We did not see that coming. But once there was enough people in enough places, they began to turn a blind eye, catch and release, not prosecute, because they have the decision. Does the DA want to prosecute a case? So they can say no, even if it's bad. And that promoted a huge culture, especially in California, that was letting people get away with everything. Yeah, Gen X Mom.
I have a personal question. Why would he want that to even happen? What is his motive for that? Why? Why does he want an America that's so horrible?
Well, in his mind, what he's trying to do is get control so that he can switch everything over to socialism. He wants everything. Once he gets enough people in these underlying positions where we're not punishing criminals, where we're keeping the people out on the street, and he can start getting mayors, which he has. He can start getting governors, which he has. Once he gets enough of them, all of these people can come together. And guess what? As soon as you get enough people in the House of Representatives, well, let me back up. When you can control all the state legislatures and the governor, the big key ones, then you can control the presidency, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. You can then rewrite the Constitution legally. You can legally go in and make amendments when you have enough people. If you have, now people you guys are saying, well, what does it matter about the states? What does it matter if why not go for the federal level and change the Constitution legally, get enough people in there to change what you want? Because the states will begin to challenge what they're doing. A state could try to secede. A state can go in there with their legislature, their state Supreme Court, and they can say, we're not going to be part of the changes you're making. But if you get enough of them to go along with it, you have huge support in the federal angle of that. If you have 25 states that are bought and paid for from the ground all the way up to the governor, then you make the changes at the federal level, unless you do something to fuck up and the Supreme Court stops you. You now have 25 states that are going to back you, that are pushing for this, that are agreeing with this.
He sounds like a very evil man.
He's a terrible man. He's absolutely a horrible individual, absolutely has one goal in mind, and he's been building on it for 15 years. And once he gets to the end result, he's going to push to make that change. And there's a lot of people that are making it with him.
Close to being
He's
dead.
old. Yeah, he could die. But there's a lot of people that are doing the same thing. There are a lot of people that agree with him. When they sign on to his agenda, they're going right down the same road.
That's sad. Jeffrey Montgomery says, is the U.S. the only country the Chinese are owning land in? Do you know?
I don't know. Oh, well, okay, no, but for different reasons. We covered this a couple months ago on a world show. One of the things China did over the last, I don't know, I guess the last 20 years, for sure the last 12 to 15, and I'll shorten this so you just follow me. So I did some homework on this a while back, was they went to countries that were bankrupt, okay? And they said, well, I'll tell you what, we'll give you $30 billion and you pay it back. And, they drew up an agreement. And when the country couldn't pay it back, China says, I'll tell you what, in the contract, this is legal in the contract. China says, I'll tell you what, you don't have to pay us back, but we want land. You have a beautiful big harbor here and lots of land. We'd like to build a military base there. We'd like to build a port. We'd like to build docks. We'd like to build transfer stations. And all the countries went, oh, we don't got to pay you back? We're even? You just want that? If I can take it. I think at the time there was 12 countries that had given up 12 key pieces of land that militarily were near NATO, that were warm water ports where Russia could have a warm water port for their military, for their navy. It just was amazing, and it was one after another. That one, I did make a call to a friend of mine who works liaison with the Pentagon, and I said, what the fuck? He goes, yeah, they pulled this off pretty cleverly. They gave money, and when you can't pay it back, part of the agreement that the country signed on to was you got to give us land, and they negotiated where it's all legal. It's all very legal. That's a different reason that they were getting land in other places and how they went about it. And some of the countries got help from us, and we'll help you pay the loan back. Tell China to fuck off. So there was other countries that chipped in the European Union and said, here's the money, tell China to fuck off. We gave some, here's the money, fuck off. But they did gain a lot. They did gain a lot of land. The problem is, which we covered before, is that China's in a heap of trouble in their country. I mean, they're on the brink of collapse in a lot of ways. They're holding on, and it may not be tomorrow, but they're in trouble in many, many, many ways. We talked about the population, how they don't have they had the population control years ago. Now they're running out of young people. You can't just invent a group of 25-year-olds when you need 1 million of them to fill these spots in the government, to fill these spots in industry. You can't just invent 25-year-olds. So they're in trouble. They're in trouble financially. The citizens have turned on them. You saw that all the news. You guys saw it in all the news last year and the year before. Where there's a run on the banks, and China kept moving the money around and closing the banks, basically telling them all fuck off. You'll get your money when we say so. There's many, many, many things, and food is a big one for China too. So not as concerned as some people are about it, but we did a lot of homework on some things. We talked about it with you guys. Some of you guys were over there. Some of you guys were in that area telling me what was going on firsthand. And I believed you guys. I was reporting what you guys were saying as you guys were telling me. So there's a lot of things. I don't go too deep on this stuff. I ask some questions. I poke around. I get some sources that I think are pretty sincere about stuff. They're not trying to be deceptive. And then I just tell you guys about it. Because, again, I'm just a dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert, but I can apply common sense. Common sense tells me the Chinese are up to some shit when they put a bunch of fucking farmlands near military bases. That's just common sense. Something's wrong. Oh, I know. You liberal dipshits would, everything's fine. You're a conspiracy. Everything's okay. Right. Yeah, it's not. I don't care what you say. And I've been around a long time. That's not right. They're up to something. Fuck that. It's you think that everything's okay. It's not. I don't know what it is. I'm not telling you guys, not telling you I know what's going on. I'm telling you I don't know what's going on. I'm just telling you something's going on. It's not right. Some weird's out there, man. You want some answers. You may have to look deeper than me, but at least ask the fucking question. Don't put your head in the sand. You're not a fucking ostrich. All right. Anything else in the sheets before I move on?
Nope. Move on. Next subject.
So let's go to something that's pissing me off. Oh, I know one real quick one here. I got it. This is real quick.
Just hold one?
On. Just one, real quick. Hang on. Dum. Let's move. Oh, shit. I went to the wrong one here, didn't I? Sorry about that. Let me go to the drag and drop section of the program. It's in the wrong screen. Let's try this again. Okay, let's go here. Bonk. Let's move this one first for the vertical viewers. Now we'll move the one for the horizontal viewers. The drag and drop section of the program. This title won't tell you anything, but it reminds me. There was something that got shot down at the federal level, and I think it got shot down in the House. I don't think the Senate shot it down. They brought a bill before Congress. You know how they have warning labels on tobacco? and say, hey, this could be bad for you. This could be, it's kind of a fucked up thing. And they brought to the attention of the movies, so you can rate movies, say, hey, this movie's rated R. There might be some stuff in here you might not want to be in your head. You might not want to see, and there's horror, and there's this. So they brought before Congress this bill that says there's warning labels on the potential risks of everything out there. Bottle of Windex says this may cause cancer. We let people know that there is a serious risk to something if you're going to use it, view it, consume it, whatever. And they went in there, and this is the part that's going to get you. They went in there with the intent of saying that platforms should have a warning label that you have to read before you join Facebook, before you join YouTube, before you join Instagram or TikTok. They proposed a very special set of things you needed to know before you could view those platforms. Like, on TikTok, say, just so you know, if you download the TikTok app and you start using it, they're going to steal all of your information, all of your naked pictures, and all of your government affiliations. They're going to know everything about you. So if you're okay with that, check the box and keep watching TikTok. And it got shot down. Nobody wanted it. It didn't even I don't even think it got brought for a vote. I think it got lost in committee on that one. It didn't pass. Wherever it got stuck, it didn't pass. But can you imagine some cool cat getting out? You like me. Like, what if they'd have passed this and called me up and said, "Hey, man, I want you to write the foreword of this little book here." And I'll say, "What book?" Well, it's a law. I want you to write the passage for TikTok. For you, whatever you think people should know before they join Instagram or Facebook. Man, I'd be calling some friends of mine that work at these places and going, "What's the fucking dirt, man? Give me the fucking skinny right now because I'm going to write it down." Now, let's be honest. We know that everybody would just scroll to the end and hit the, terms and conditions, punk. But wouldn't it be cool if you had to check like every paragraph off or every line off? There was no check all. That would have been an interesting thing to see what people would have said. And what I mean by that was, wouldn't it have been interesting to see what people would have written, what the culmination of the gurus would have written for Facebook? And how that would have been different from TikTok or YouTube or something. It would have been kind of cool if that had passed to see what that was. So I don't know if that'll ever come up again, but I thought it was kind of fun to watch that shit on there. All right, I'm going to go to one more serious one, but before I do, I want to bring up something. I don't know if you guys would think this was cool or not. I'm going to try to enlarge it. But we're working on getting a store up, a Shopify store with one of our local vendors here in town. I just want you to look at the back of this shirt. Let me get this for you right here. Let me do the vertical people first. Yeah, you're called vertical people. I don't know if you can read that or not on there, but this is the shirt that I'd like to put out there for Gen X Talks. Maybe no one would care, but I think it'd be cool to wear this just around town. And it says, "Don't mess with Generation X. Older, wiser, been there, done that, don't care, didn't ask, now go away." On the back. On the front just says Gen X Talks, but I thought that'd be fucking cool. Don't mess with Generation X. Older, wiser, been there, done that, don't care, didn't ask, now go away. I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid on that, but we already got a store up and running like we're trying to with Shopify and some of the people. I think should be the first fucking shirt we put out there. I think people would dig that. It says Gen X Talks in the front, but people walking up behind you, they absolutely know who you were. Make them in white, make them in black. You could put them in different colors. I don't know. I think it'd be fucking bad. I'd wear one. I'd fucking wear one right now. Just older, wiser, been there, done that, don't care, didn't ask, now go the fuck away. Mine's going to say go the fuck away. Yours probably wouldn't, but all right. So where is this dumb one right here? There's something that really pissed me off. Where is it? I had a picture of it.
Somebody said, Aaron says you should add "fuck off."
Yeah.
At the bottom.
Fuck off. Well, there'll be two versions. There'll be a PG version. And God, I can't believe I don't have that fucking thing in here. There was something. I know I saved that too. Oh, there it is. There it is. Let me double check that in the drag and drop section. Okay, there was two, but this fucking idiot. Okay, let me move these first.
Bob McKinley says this boomer would wear it. That's what Bob says.
Bob, well, I've met Bob. It fit him perfect. He'd wear that with some pride in it too. He would. All right, so let me move the drag and drop section over here. Let me get some stuff going for you so you can see what we're talking about. Stars, move it there. All right, so the horizontal people, you get your picture there too. Now, this is obviously Gavin Newsom. This is going to, my wife doesn't know about this. She's going to get mad.
Yeah, well, I don't like him anyway.
I know you don't like him. Supreme Court blocks anti-tax ballot measure siding with Newsom. Now, before you guys get all carried away, if you don't know what this is, let me explain it to you. I'm assuming this is how it works in most states, but I know it's how it works in California. You want to put something on the ballot so the people can vote on it. You gather signatures. And if you just barely meet the criteria of the signatures, sometimes they challenge it, make you go do it again. There was a measure floating around for signatures that Californians would be allowed, would be required to put to a vote of the people any tax changes. Listen to me again. They got it ready to go on the ballot. They got the signatures. They got it prepared, legally ready to go, going to be on the ballot in November. They're all squared away. And it says the state cannot, California, the state legislature cannot, the governor cannot impose a tax, raise or change a current tax. You can't modify a tax. You can't initiate a tax just because you and the legislature said so. Now, if you guys want to do that, you can pass it. The governor could sign it. Then it has to go before a vote of the people. And if the majority of California votes and says, okay, we'll accept that tax, then we do. If we say, fuck off, we don't want that tax, then you don't. Because why this came up, and let me tell you, there was an overwhelming 4 times the amount of signatures needed from Republicans and Democrats. Every single person went, fuck yeah, we should decide. You can say, I don't like them, they don't like me, you guys are assholes, you guys are... Doesn't matter. Everybody came together and said, put this on the ballot, let's pass this. That the voters in California decide every tax, every time. You can't do it without the majority of people. And you normally, when they pass stuff through, when stuff goes to a vote, it's usually politically motivated, gay marriage or something like that. And Gavin Newsom says, well, there's more, all the Republicans have left, all the conservatives have left. I've probably got enough votes in the people. Those are all social issues. And I might agree with him on that. He did have the numbers. But when it came to taxes, everybody united and said, no, we're putting this on the ballot. So what sneaky Gavin Newsom did was him and the legislature went to the state Supreme Court and said, listen, if they pass this and the vote has to go to the people for every tax, and we can't just raise taxes on our own with our little club of people here in Sacramento, I got to tell you, the people may make some bad decisions. The people may not allow us to raise taxes where we need to. Do you realize old people will die? Young people will not get the medical treatment they need or the education. See what I'm doing here? Pay attention. This is what liberals are the best at. Anytime they don't get their way, oh, you're costing old people their lives. What about the children? And they do this. Sometimes with a tear. Just a minute. Hold on. It's for the old people and the children. We can't let the people of California decide their own taxes. They may short us on money that would change the constitution of the state.
You're good.
And kill people.
You're good.
Well, I want to be a liberal Democrat someday, so I'm practicing.
That is just you are awesome.
Thank you. Anyway, so the Supreme Court, which is part of the group, said, yeah, we can't have you fucking with old people. And, you could potentially, if you vote taxes in a certain direction, you could be changing some constitutional laws. Yeah, we can't have that. So, no, now it's off the ballot. It's off the ballot. The right for the people to choose for themselves what they will or won't pay taxes on, whether it's a worthy cause or not, is up to us. Not anymore. No, 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 no. It stays right there with Gavin Newsom, his cronies in Sacramento, and the Supreme Court backed him up. I have told you guys that I love California, and I still do. I love the state. I think California is probably the most beautiful state in the union, in my opinion. I've been a lot of places, and I love California. I've told you guys before that watching the sunset into the Pacific Ocean is one of the most beautiful things. Take a ride up Highway 1 all the way to where the redwood trees grow to the salt water and tell me it's not beautiful. I personally think that when God created the planet Earth, he knelt down and kissed Yosemite Valley. I tell you, I'm kind of a desert guy. I love the desert, sleeping out in the desert. Wake up one morning really early when the sun's just coming up and the whole sky is purple and you can reach out of your sleeping bag and the sand is cold in the morning. I love California. And up until now, I've told you the things that everyone, the taxes, regulation, and homelessness. Well, the regulations don't bother me too much. You know, I'm not in business anymore. The homeless problem isn't really a problem where I live. I don't see any of it. I'm not once in a while, but not much. It's not in my face. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means that it's not, these things aren't hitting me in the face every day until this. Now, you guys know that I've been looking to move to Nevada. I've been trying to work something out. It's just time for me to go. I'm not running away scared like everybody else. Fuck this government. Fuck this California. Fuck California. No, I'm not one of those guys. I stuck around. I tried to make some changes for years after everybody left. Just time for me to move on. But now, with this, with the Democrats taking away the power of the people to decide what we want to do, blatantly, not even hiding it. Now I kind of want to go even if it costs me money. Even if I can't move and move to exactly what I want and where I want, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it. I'm just mad. I want to go. This was one of the things that really pushed me over the edge. Up until then, I've been years here after everybody ran to Idaho, ran to Texas, everybody moving out the last 3 to 4 to 5. My friends did too. A lot of my friends like, fuck California, I'm out of there. All right. I wasn't ready yet. I told you guys I'm not ready to go yet. I always told you guys fair. I said, well, maybe someday, but not quite ready yet. I love California. It's my favorite state. I don't like what the government has done to it. People have fucked it up. There's a lot of good people here still. But now, with this, may just be the nail in the coffin for me. I'm like, look, I got to go. Even if it costs me money to leave, I can't abide. The dude cannot abide. You can't take away from the people the right to govern themselves. And liberal Democrats, they're not even hiding it anymore. They just came right out and did it and said, no, we'll tell you what we're going to tax you on. You don't get to decide. We'll tell you what's good for you. You don't get to decide. And there's not enough people at this moment. There's not enough people that will vote Gavin Newsom out of office. They won't. And if there was enough people, everybody left. Maybe at one time we would have had the numbers, but everybody left. Everybody went to... Why do you think Gavin didn't care if everybody left? Well, all the conservative Republicans are leaving California. Yeah, good. That's what he wanted. Now he's assured a victory every time. I don't know. I'm just telling you guys what my opinion on it is. This one bothered me probably as much as anything that I've ever seen him do before, was he blatantly takes away the right of the people to govern. And there'll be more. If they can do this every time you get conservatives and you get liberals, you get Democrats, Republicans coming together, putting something on the ballot that we all want as a people together, and you have a small group in Sacramento that says, no, fuck you, we'll decide. What can't they do that to? As long as they can say, it's for the good of the people. You just don't know. You don't know what's good for you. It'll kill old people. It'll mess up children. Just keep saying that. Just keep saying that it's racist. It's clearly racist. Just throw that out there. And then you can keep doing what you're doing, which is wrong. The people should get to decide. Gavin Newsom been a moral man. He would have just said, well, if this is what you guys want, there's enough signatures, put it on there, just go do your thing. No, 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 no. No. Democrats used to be sneaky. Now they're bold and saying, "Now we'll use the court to stop you." I don't know. That's Gen X mom.
Can we move on to a different subject? There's a few people that have questions.
Go ahead.
Scott Ahrens wants to ask if y'all have heard about Kansas suing Pfizer over the COVID vax situation. If you want to touch that subject
no,
right now.
I don't know enough about it. I just caught the headlines the other day. I guess that one had slipped by me on that. But yeah, it appears they're suing them. Well, for one, the one of the things in there was calling it a vaccine. That and this is Jordan Peterson said this the best. He got into an argument one time, and I think this is part of what the state was taking on Pfizer was like vaccines were a very square, like in a box vaccine. We all knew what it was. It was a cure. A vaccine meant you were cured and you were fixed and it was preventable and you got a vaccine and now you were safe from this virus or this illness or this attack. We got it. This disease, I guess not a virus, but disease. So we all knew for years and years what a vaccine represented. And we knew what it meant, and it was very stable. It was proven. It was technology and proven over 50 years. We got it. So when they come along with this COVID thing and they use the term vaccine, they slid it into this box where it didn't belong. It is not a vaccine. If you can take 3 or 4 vaccine shots and still get the disease, still get the virus, if you can take 3 or 4 shots and still pass it along to others, how is this a vaccine? Oh, and you know what? I absolutely love the liberals on this one, you fucking idiots. Well, even the polio vaccine wasn't perfect. Some people who had the vaccine still got polio. Yeah. It's like 0.001%. It's a vaccine with a very small trailer at the end. Yeah, it's not perfect. Your guys wasn't even 50-50. It wasn't even 50-50. So how dare you? Well, our vaccine isn't perfect. Polio isn't perfect. MMR isn't perfect. You can still, yeah, these are all ones that give like less than half of 1% get through. Yours is like 40 to 50% get through. Yes, we're all the same. We're all the same. None of us are. No, you're fucking way off. How dare you use this box, this contained moment of vaccine that we've built on for all these years and slide your shit in there? Those were not even my words. I didn't come up with that. Yeah, Jordan Peterson did.
All right. Eagle GP on YouTube says, do you think they will drop Biden at the 11th hour and replace with Gavin Newsom? Your thoughts?
Well, that's funny. I was listening to Brett Baer, which is one of the only newsmen that I trust anymore. I was listening to some of the stuff he was saying. Wouldn't it be nice if I could say he called me? Brett and I were talking one day and we were having a phone call. It didn't happen, but it'd be nice to say that. And something came to mind listening to him. He wasn't talking about the 11th hour and switching out Biden. He was talking about the debate coming up. And he had some guests on. They were just covering some, the first debate it's kind of rough. And, Trump did this last time. Trump really fucked up his first debate 4 years ago, and then he kind of straightened it out in the second debate, but he really fucked it up. So they're trying to say, Trump's a different guy and Biden's this, and can they get Biden through the first, can they pump him up like they did for his State of the Union speech, which I thought was amazing. There's no way I thought Biden could make a State of the Union speech. How could you keep a guy talking that long and not fuck everything up? Whatever.
They need to bottle that shit and sell it.
I'm sure they do. And I'm sure it's known what it is. I just don't know. But, they gave him the proper amount of sleep, his nutrition, his meds, and they pumped him up. Maybe they just gave him a bunch of 5-hour energies. I don't know. But he contained himself correctly for the whole speech. I was amazed. That's what they're going to try to do for the debate. Now, here's getting to your question. When they were talking about this, they also talked about, well, if he pulls it off and it'll be a good debate, his poll numbers may start to rise. Trump will probably wish he didn't go to the debate, on and on and on. However, they did touch on what happens if Biden can't do it. What happens if he falters? What happens if he stammers? What happens if the medication wears off? and he fumbles it. And right at that moment, I thought, okay, maybe that's what they're waiting for. Again, dumb mechanic, middle of the desert, just thinking on top of my head. What if they're waiting to see how he does in the debate? If he continues to do good, all right, we'll stick with him a little longer. Let's see what happens. But what if he fucks it all up? What if he wanders off the stage, can't remember what he's doing? Clearly, it was a fuck up. I think without a doubt, they would switch him out at the convention, at the Democratic National Convention, when the delegates all come in and they have their big. I think that's what they would do. I think they would switch it out there. But if he fails on that, I think the very next day you'll start hearing rumblings. Now, I don't know if it'll be Hillary. I don't know if it'll be Michelle Obama. I don't know if it'll be Gavin Newsom. I mean, think about if it was Michelle. Michelle, all she'd have to say is, I don't know about running the country, but my husband's going to be sitting next to me, and you guys all like Barack, so just vote for me. That'd be, if I was the campaign advisor, I'd say, just go out there and say that. It's like Barack gets another 4 years, you just got to sit in the chair. Just tell him, just be honest with him. Say, yeah, I don't know shit, but he does. But let's just see at the debate what happens and see the next morning. I could be off base. What do I know? All right. Gen X Mom.
Okay. So remember, it's a world show, so they don't understand what this is. But Kyle Ryken says, how does the exit tax work? How can they enforce that? So explain what.
Well, it's changing.
Remember, people are from the world.
Okay, so it is around the world. When you leave California and you take your money with you, because there's a lot of boomers, a lot of corporations, and a lot of people leaving, the money leaves with them. You don't spend the money. California no longer gets the income. That's all sorts of shit. So California says, well, if you're going to leave, we're going to charge you an exit tax. What the fuck does that mean? That means as you got your Beverly Hillbillies stacked 1921 REO Speedwagon fire engine conversion with all your shit and all your families, you're going across the bridge. There's a toll at the end of the bridge. If you want to leave California, you're going to pay us. If you're going to stay in California and generate tax money for us, if you're going to leave, you're going to pay us on your way out the door. Well, everybody said, fuck off. Now, liberals do what they always do. What do they always do? It's always the same fucking game plan. Well, no. We're just taxing the super wealthy. You know, if anybody's leaving and they have, if they're a $600 million company or higher, we're charging. I think that's fair. You're going to pay, charging you, okay? Well, most people went, fine, doesn't affect me. I'm going to $600 million. Then they lower it. Well, now it's corporations that have $40 million in net worth. Well, we're going to lower it again. Now it's just all corporations, just so you guys know. Well, we're going to lower it a little bit further. It's it's corporations and really rich people. And they haven't come down to where they hit the common person yet, but they're getting there. That's the whole point. Is when you start with a tax, we're just going to charge you a few pennies. But once the tax is in place and we've gone along with it, the government, the state can raise the tax as they see fit. This is the same thing. If we allow an exit tax on hugely wealthy people and corporations, they can start bringing down the number till it hits, well, only families that make $100,000 a year. If you make $100,000 a year and you have a boat, if you can afford a boat, boats are luxuries. If you can afford a motorcycle, then you're rich, and we should get a little tax money for it. They just lower it. I'm probably going to get out before they lower it far enough to where, the janitor gets dinged on his way out of town. But that's the idea. They're squeezing money every way they can out of the people that are here. And if you're bold enough to leave, if you're arrogant enough to leave, they want to stick it to you as you leave. And how they enforce that is it's a tax that they can put on you. And they know you're leaving. As soon as you get a new driver's license in another state, as you turn in your California ID, you get another driver's license in Arizona or Nevada. As soon as you have a sold residence here and you purchase a residence somewhere else, they say, well, we're calculating how much money, and there's the exit tax. They pass it along to the other state. States work with each other on all sorts of stuff. Well, the state of Nevada is not going to pay an exit tax for me. They're going to go, here, dude, here's your bill. California's pissed you left. Just pay your bill and be done with them. And they'll do it.
NADA splays or NADA splay, I don't know. Are you getting taxed when you move to Nevada? That's what they are.
I don't think so. I don't think they've lowered it enough to where, minimum wage janitor at Taco Bell, me, I don't think they're going to hit me yet, but it's working its way down. I think I'll be out like a year or two before it lowers to the point of hitting middle class America, but it's coming. That's the whole point.
Nicholas wants to know, how is that fair in the first place?
Well, they just use guerrilla math. They use Common Core math. It's just like they say, well, we're getting all this tax revenue and now you're leaving. And, we just built all these new roads for you. We built new bridges. We're paying teachers' salaries for all the, and you're leaving. We just built, you need to pay some of the stuff on your way out the door. Because we spent all this money hoping we'd collect it from you and others over the next 10 years. Now you're leaving. Yes.
I have, Rajara has a question. So wait, the state of California puts a lien against you? That's what she's asking.
Now you're getting in over my pay grade. I don't know how they collect, how they enforce the collection. Could they I would guess in California's real famous for just putting a lien against your bank account, wherever it is. They can say, we have a court order. These people didn't pay. Gen X Talks left and they owe us $3,500. They moved to Nevada and they simply find out where your bank is through a collection agency and they give you the time to pay it. And if you don't, they just lien your account and they take the money. That would be my guess. And I'm guessing, I don't know, but it's a real fucking law. It's a real fucking tax and you're really going to fucking pay it if you fall into the category. And the numbers are pretty high right now. I'm nowhere near it, believe me. But I'm telling you, I've been around this sun 56 times. I'm on my 57th lap around the sun. I'm telling you, from watching how taxes go up, this number will come down until it grabs everybody. They will get as much money as they can. Yeah.
I have a question. With all these illegals coming in across the border, how is California going to survive if nobody there? They can't pay for the taxes, right?
I don't understand your question.
Well, they want income. They're trying to get income from people. As people are leaving California, it's getting filled up by illegals, correct?
Right.
Coming across the border. Are those people going to start paying all the stuff that...
Hold on. Now, hold on. First of all, there's a couple things. Not every illegal person that comes across the border just sits around in a park all day and stares at the sky.
Agreed.
I would tell you from my experience watching from growing up in Southern California, watching illegals come across the border by the thousands, I'm going to say 90% of them want to work. They want to do something productive. Now, they have to I'm not just talking about going out into the rural part of California, which is huge, and, picking fruit and, things like that, which there's a lot of migrants that do that. But even growing up in Los Angeles in the San Fernando Valley, there was people that would come in and say, I speak Spanish, but I want to be a mechanic. So they would get 2 mechanics would get hired on. They're both illegal. They would start getting under the table money. They'd buy some tools. They'd buy some clothes wherever they were staying. So if they come in and they get jobs, they can get illegal jobs because maybe they have green cards, maybe they don't. They start earning money and buying stuff, the state gets sales tax.
Okay, I get you.
The money that they earn does begin to circulate. California only loses out on the income tax part. They can't tax the income because it's not on the books. Yes, they would prefer to have that. But believe me, if you told Gavin Newsom that there was 10 million illegals coming in and 10 million illegals coming in and 9 million of them were going to work for cash under the table and spend that money in the state and generate tax revenue, he's going to be all for it.
Okay, I get you. Okay, so Matty K, he goes, hi, cheers from Sweden.
Hey, Sweden.
How far do you think it has to go to shit until the common folk say enough? Sweden is going to shit and the U.S. looks worse.
It's, Sweden. Man, that really, I watched a couple of documentaries on what happened over there, and oh my fucking Christ. You guys are turning it around, though. It sounds to me like you guys have had enough, and you guys are making drastic changes right fucking now. How long would it be for us? I don't know, because in the United States, I'd love to say we're a very tolerant people, but the truth is that nobody cares. It seems to me, growing up in the United States, that nobody cares until it affects them. Now, there's some proof of that, too. Look at when Florida and Texas started busing and flying tens of thousands of immigrants to New York, to Chicago, to Martha's Vineyard. Nobody cared. Oh, you guys are just full of shit. Let people in. There's no such thing as an illegal human. You guys are just racist assholes. All right, fine, you take them. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, hold on a second. You're fucking up our city. There's crime. There's violence. Our resources. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sweetheart. What'd you say? So this open your border, accept everybody's not a good idea? Or it's just not a good idea for you and the rest of us need to suck it up? Nobody cares until it hits home. There's enough of them in here that it's hitting home. I don't know. When your question was how far, I don't know. I don't know how far it'll go. At some point, there's going to be a leader that really unites people. And I know, I'm not saying Trump's that guy. He might be. He definitely, the swell of the black vote, of the Latino vote. Every poll, even liberal polls, New York Times, CNN, MSNBC, they're blown away by the polling that they're getting. They can't even spin it. But a guy like Trump could come in and say, look, I'm going to finish the fucking wall. I'm going to find every illegal person in the country. Every one of you that has committed a crime and you're a fucked up individual, you're fucking gone. I don't even want to hear a story. You robbed, you raped, you burglarized, you're out. All the rest of you that are behaving correctly, we're going to figure some shit out for you. But nobody else is coming in. Seal the border, figure out who's here, get rid of the assholes, the people that want to be here. He's going to figure something out for him. I think everybody would be behind that. Because we don't mind good people coming here. We just don't want fucking assholes. That's it. That's the simple rule. I know we can't go out on TV and say that, which is why he would never let me be the press secretary. Because that's how I'd come out there and I just get in that little tiny room with the blue thing behind me at the podium and go, look, we're building the fucking wall. Last time was Trump's first political office ever, and he had 4 years of a learning curve. But he knows what to do fucking now. Now he's been there 4 years out, and now he's coming in. He's shrugging a lot of this shit off. Now he knows how to get shit done. So here's what we're going to do. First thing is the wall goes up. That's it. Wall's going up, military's going on the border. Don't fucking come across. Ever. We'll let you know when we're ready. Then we're going to round everybody up. We're going to go door to door. We're going to knock on doors. We're going to tag everybody. Who's supposed to be here? Who's not? Who's illegal? Who's a citizen? Then we're going to find out who the assholes are. And if you're part of some drug cartel, if you're part of some mafia, if you've committed crimes, you're fucking gone. We don't want you here. We don't like you. If you're going to cause an issue, get the fuck out. Then if there's 10 million illegals, we're going to say, okay, here's some paperwork. Let's get started on them shit. You're going to learn English. Okay. You're going to learn the pledge. You're going to learn what the first vice president's name with George Washington was. And we're going to fix some shit and we're going to get you in the program. If you really want to be here and you really want to work, we got stuff for you to do. Trump's going to do stuff like that. If I was press secretary, that's what I'd say. I'd come out there and tell you, oh, everyone, you're racist, you're wrong, and you can't, yeah. Nobody cares anymore what you're saying. Nobody cares when you said, you're racist. Well, what does that word mean anymore? You guys have used it so much. Who cares? That's inconceivable. I'm just saying that a guy could come in, maybe Trump, maybe not, and unite everybody and move America in a direction similar to America First. And why is that? You can't be an isolationist country. You can't. America First. What a terrible thing to say. Fuck off. It's not a terrible thing to say. America can be, even if you're in an airplane, what do they always tell you? If the airplane's going down and the oxygen mask drop, put yours on first. Make sure you're breathing and your heart's going and you can see, then you can help others. So get America off life support with all this shit. Become energy independent again. Get strong, military. Get our economy back up. Be strong, then help others. Why is that so hard to understand? In fact, if you disagree, leave. Just go. Not get out of my country, although I'm not opposed to you leaving. Just leave the fucking live stream. If you don't, that bothers you, get the fuck out. Anyway, that's just me.
I have one more comment.
Go ahead. What's your more?
I am going to just destroy this name, but this person is from Belgium.
Okay.
Dustier Verhalen, I'm assuming.
You're butchering it, but not on purpose.
When we had the extreme immigrant flow here in Belgium,
Yeah.
They got chips and water for free when they got on the trains and a boat, and they threw them right back and demanded Coca-Cola and shit. The illegals that were coming.
That was in Belgium?
Yeah, that's what he said.
I looked at those fuckers and go, you guys are going to get awfully hungry. There's the table of water and there's the table of chips. And the word you're looking for is thank you. The words you're looking for are thank you. Not fucking dumping it in the ocean and telling them you want Coca-Cola. Fuck off. Yeah, that's just me. This is why I'm not the press secretary in Belgium either, because I don't think I'd get along too well.
Yeah, Tina is saying, what about all the military-aged Chinese that are crossing the border, or those from the Middle East that are coming across?
Yeah, if there's anything with a foreign military association at all, you're fucking gone. I'd put you on a plane and say you're out. But I have reasons why I'm here. I don't want to hear them. But my uncle, tough shit. I'm sorry, you're military. You. Here's what's really dumb about liberals. If you told liberals, hey, there is an army of soldiers with guns and uniforms, and they're rushing the border, even liberals would say, whoa, 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 put our army down there. Stop them from invading. It's a foreign army. They're invading. Even liberals would be along with you. Don't let a foreign. There's 10,000 men in uniforms and guns rushing the border. They would say, get our military down there and stop them. Would you all not agree? Good. Glad you're coming along with that one. Now, what if the enemy says, okay, everybody put away your guns and take off your uniforms. Just wear different civilian clothing. Same 10,000 people. Don't carry a gun, don't wear a uniform, and don't run across the border. Just walk. We'll get the same 10,000 people inside the country. And the liberals go, oh, that sounds good to me. We should welcome these people in. They're just wonderful. Let's have them with open arms and let's give them everything they want. Whoa, whoa. Or they just change their clothes and put their guns down. It's fine. You're just racist. You just don't know what you're doing. No. I got a little common sense, and you're a blutard. You see the difference there? Just letting you guys know. All right. Listen, I got to go. It is 11:17. We started this a little bit before 10. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for tolerating the new format. We've been struggling with how to get things to go with the vertical and stuff. If you guys like anything that we're doing here, if you're on Facebook, follow along. It would, like the thing and follow along. It would really help us a ton. If you don't, then quietly move on. If this show's not for you, I get it. But the same thing on YouTube. Like and subscribe and hit the bell or whatever we're supposed to. But the big thing is join Patreon. You just go to our channel, go to Gen X Talks. Everything's on genxtalks.com. Everything we do there, every live appearance that we're going to make, the gold coins that you guys are searching for throughout the country, that's a fun treasure hunting game, everything is on genxtalks.com. Just click the picture and go see it. But the big one is Patreon. If you join Patreon, you get an email. Everything we're doing, we go live on KGXT radio from time to time. We have no way of telling you we're going live. We just pick up the mic and start talking. But on Patreon, we can say, hey, in half an hour, we're going to go live. In half an hour, if there's a change to a venue, like right now, Chris Cuomo, who's a very liberal guy, has asked us to be on his podcast today. His podcast is going to start right at the time you guys were going to watch the Garage Show. Yeah. So now on Patreon, I'm going to send out a message saying, hey, we're going to have to push back. We're going to postpone a little bit, an hour or so, or maybe half an hour, because we're going to be on the Chris Cuomo podcast this afternoon back in New York City. So we're moving. We're going to have to move. How am I going to tell you that? How do I let you know? But guess what? A quick email on Patreon. I can say, hey, we're just moving stuff around. Then you know. There's not a better way to find out what's going on. It's $1. It's $12 a fucking year, man. It's $12 for the whole year. And guess where your dollar goes? It goes to buy a microphone. It goes to buy stuff that we need around here. If you think I'm pocketing it, you're fucking wrong. Yeah, Gen X Mom.
Real quick, Lloyd Fredrickson, $20. You rock. I just saw the last 3 minutes. Thanks for all you do. And when will the next trivia questions be out?
Yeah, we're doing all kinds of trivia and stuff. We're going to do, on the bottom of the Glass Nation, we're actually going to take phone calls, and we're going to do that. Caller 15, just give stuff away, because people are interested in sponsoring the program now. So we're going to give away some sponsored stuff from the guys. We only take sponsors in if they like Gen X Talks and we like them. That's the rule. If we dig what they're doing and they dig us, then we can talk about stuff. We're going to give away some of that stuff and share it with you. We're also going to be down, for those of you who don't know, tomorrow morning we'll be in Torrance. Anybody in Southern California, The city of Torrance puts on a big cultural festival once a year, and there's 7,000 to 10,000 people there. We're going down early. We're going to set up a booth. We're giving stuff away. If you just want to shoot the shit and talk, take a picture and hang out, then come down. We'll be in Torrance. So it's tomorrow. And I don't know if we're going to do anything on that on the social media other than I just said it right now. But GenXTalks.com is the place you want to go to get all your answers for everything we're doing. And my email's on there too. Look at staff. If you guys have a question, you guys want to know something, send me something at genxdad@genxtalks.com. I answer all my own emails. I don't have people for that. I do it myself. Listen, I got to go. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate you guys. If you had an hour of your day to waste, I am very thankful you chose to waste it here at Gen X Talks. Anything you want to say, sweetheart, before we go?
No, I just welcome everybody. And there's a lot of people, new people that have stopped by Facebook and YouTube and Rumble. And
Scott Bartosh.
I know, we haven't seen him in a
Scott Bartosh stopped by.
Everybody, if you want to know, we do go live. Lots of people are asking like, oh my gosh, you're live and stuff.
Yeah.
Please go to our website, www.genxtalks.com. It shows our live stream schedule.
Yeah, it's on there. And you can check out what we're doing. We're going to go vertical more often. That puts it into your shorts feed. It puts you into your reels feed. You can see stuff. We will be back on TikTok soon doing the live. We get banned every week from TikTok. We're trying to get back unbanned again. Thank you guys for tuning in around the planet, AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps you're listening in on the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember two things. Number one, wherever you go, there you are. And two, I'll catch you guys on the flip side.